feel like overall, like her, like she's got a really super tight like fascial layer. So not necessarily the skin, not necessarily the muscles, but like, I mean, so muscle in some places, but it's really fascia. I feel like the fascia layer that's really tight and sort of restrictive. Now it could go away with time, and as she chills out, because she's had a lot of changes, it could go away when you go back into work and you start moving and she's doing good movement, healthy movement, that might loosen itself up, right?
Do you feel like it changes from time to time? I'm just wondering if her heat cycle has anything to do with it, and if putting her on progesterone would help.
It could.
Because she's now
help,
not in heat.
but it's super tight right now.
Okay.
So is it a residual from like
last week? She was still coming out of heat at the end when you were here.
We had so much. We had so much attitude from the hormones that like I don't know that I would have.
Her gut space to me when I touch her under the girth and under the hind rib, but she's so much better than she was a week ago. A week ago she was crazy reactive, and now she's just letting you stand there and do that with no food and no bridging and I've been working on it multiple sessions a day.
Yeah.
Right? And this is night and day even from last week, and super night and day from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, last week I couldn't touch her shoulder. Like it wasn't, without her being like, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know about that. It's not that I couldn't, but like there was a reaction.
Right.
And today she's just like, all the things are good.
Super soft, except for that overall tightness.
Yeah, it is an overall tightness in like in her body. It's like with the skin, where the skin is too taut. Like it needs to have more movement for her to be really comfortable. And so again, you're dealing with a lot of changes with the front legs. Like there's all the
so it'll be really interesting after we get the feet done on Monday to see now what we have after that after a couple weeks.
And I kind of just keep like as I'm doing work, I loosen things up and I'm hoping that a little bit of retraining will help like keep the body thinking that way. As we fix this feet and the front end and all those things. So.
And the gut, the ulcers and the
and the inside and the between the ears.
So different. Look how different.
She's
so
she's a completely different girl today.
Very good.
With the hormones in check.
Yep. But I think also the gut, right? I think the gut and the hormones
right,
together.
You started the thing a week ago too.
The meprazole and the earth song and all that. I think when you put the hormones together, because whenever they're in heat, they're having prostaglandin release, which actually makes whatever gut pain you are having exacerbated, right? It really affects the gut. So I think the two things together just made a huge difference. And if we find her reverting back, right, and still on the omeprazole, then we know that we need to go with some progesterone.
So do you think she is getting better? I keep repeating to make sure that her body relearns how to relax and stay in a relaxed state. I think with the repetition is gonna, there's gonna be a point with time, repetition, changes in all the things as that settles, that the body will figure out like how to exist without being so tense in its own skin.
And you've seen this with other off-the-track thoroughbreds, and so over time you've seen improvement.
I mean, my own horse, right, and he was, getting all kinds of stuff, and we fixed his feet, and we, did the ulcers and whatever else. It took him 3 years to learn to yawn. So sometimes they hold on to stuff that you don't expect, and as you go, like even like you can see how this moves back here, right? The muscle is relaxed. It's the skin, it's the tissue, the fascial layer that's holding the two things together. That I would really like to see remember how to be more fluid.
Well, but you do feel like there's some progress being made there. We're heading in the right direction.
Oh yeah, 100%.